You're watching QTV and this is the news with me, Mariatu Sidibe. Our top stories. Woman gives birth to 4 babies on Thursday. Kirsering residents show frustration due to poor water supply in their community. And can the establishment of Teaching Service Commission address the welfare of teachers? Those are our top stories, and now the news in detail. 35-year-old Fantanding Kebe is a happy mother after giving birth to quadruplets at AfricMed Hospital on Thursday morning. Unfortunately, one of them passed away. Omar P. Jallo went to find out, and this is his report.
At 2 a.m. on Thursday, 22nd November, Fantanding Kebe of Paradise City gave birth to quadruplets at the AfricMed Medical Clinic. Unfortunately, one of them did not survive. The 3 that survived, weighing 1.86 kilograms, 2.22 kilograms, and 2.19 kilograms respectively, will be spending the next weeks in the hospital to gain weight and strength. The team that delivered the babies include midwives and gynecologists, led by the specialist Dr. Matthew, who informed us that both the mother and the babies were in very good condition and are doing extremely well.
I describe it as fetal paparachus, and they share the same feeding source. And it happens that sometimes what we call twin-twin transfusion syndrome, that one twin will grow better than the other, because they are not twin, because they are sharing, triplets fine, and in actual sense, it should be quadruplets. And the rest of the other 2 were in different placentas. And one placenta is feeding the 2, and one had to survive, the other one did not. A situation like that, usually the common cause is the blood circulation favors one than the other. The
mother said she was tired but felt blessed, knowing that she will get to hold her babies sometimes this week.
I am so tired, but I thank God for the blessing. I am also grateful to the hospital for their efforts during the process of my delivery.
Officials of the hospital were extremely proud of their maternity team, who ensured that this exceptional case was handled most professionally.
AfriMed were happy. This is happening for the first time. The pregnancy was carried to 32 weeks, and actually in the literatures, at 32 weeks, high order pregnancies can be delivered because they mature faster. But for her, she went into labor even, which as we are planning for her elective delivery, she went into labor. We did the cesarean section and had the triplets delivered, and they were all healthy, cried immediately after delivery. And the 4th one actually was what we call fetal paparachus, meaning that stopped growing early in the pregnancy, around 3 months, it stopped growing, and the rest of them continued. And when we delivered, we discovered that that particular one was sharing the source of food called the placenta with a particular one that was held. In fact, the last of them, the 3rd one, the 3rd triplet, was sharing the same placenta with the fetal paparachus that stopped living after 3 months.
The family says the babies will not be put up for adoption. However, they are appealing to the government, NGOs and philanthropists to support them raise the babies. The hospital has handed a gift to the mother and her babies. People have been visiting to congratulate the family. I am so happy and delighted. This has never happened in our family. I am appealing to the government, NGOs and philanthropists to support us. Quadruplet pregnancies are often more challenging than others. Most multiple births that occur worldwide are made up of 90% twins, with the remaining 10% being shared by triplets, quadruplets, and so on. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
The residents of Kersering have added their voices to the lack of water in their community. Some residents accuse the authorities of depriving them of their basic necessity. Babukar Sise reports.
More communities continue to voice their dissatisfaction with the inadequacy of water supply in their homes. Sirifo Dambele asserted that her children trek for distances to get water. She recounts a bad experience her family encountered some months back.
Jiko de way mbatandile kato hada madingo mujirati. Bali follow nyin kama flokso. Hani momo ofo mo femfe ye wolo yalo na ko jele nyanta otamande.
Shortage of water is really affecting us. We cannot use our flush toilets without water. During the past Korite, we didn't take a shower because there was no water. My son went to the borehole and there was no water when the light went off. So my children have to trek to Bakote to get some water for us to cook. Lalo Jamme explains that water is abundant in the Gambia, but access to it is becoming impossible. He further went on to question whether all the money donated to this country is being managed properly.
Akoja kalawar. Bao. Gambia nyanta min kumbola o manyankala jeti. Jiyo buka bon tole banku kote kanajang. Tole banku nduma be mu jiyeleti.
We are worried because water should not be a problem in the Gambia with all the money coming into this country. Those who had bicycles before are now driving expensive cars. That money could have been used to buy water pipes, wires, and machines to solve our water problem. Water is abundant underground. They made us abandon our wells, yet they could not give us water. Lalo Jamme further recounts the importance of water and accuses NAWEC of operating an improper billing system. Even though they don't give us adequate water supply, the water bill is always the same every month. The director of water and sewage at NAWEC has this to say to the residents of Kersering.
Kersering, we allocated a tank of 2,000 cubic meters. In another way around is 2 million liter tank storage around the Bijilo highway there. That is taking care of Kersering. Sometimes we have a problem because the way the network in Kersering is built up. Kersering, we all know how the settlement people settle some of the pipe diameters of certain areas. The tank will be full, but it takes a while if we have interruption before they recover again. So this is what is affecting Kersering. As far as we are aware, we think the problem in Kersering is already history. But nonetheless, I still agree. If you see they complain, they are affected. So we will try to find out who are these areas, where is these areas, and who are these customers, and we see what can be done to address their problem.
QTV tried to contact PURA, the Public Utility Regulatory Authority, to shed light on the matter, but our efforts to get them proved futile. Babukar Sise, QTV News.
What is the solution to the long-standing neglect of the teaching profession? Recent sit-down strikes by teachers in many schools regarding their work conditions reveal the disaffection a growing number of them feel about their profession. Momodo Gajaga reports.
According to reports, there are an estimated 16,000 teachers in the Gambia. But the profession that teaches all other professions is one of the least paying of them all. Average salary of a qualified teacher is around $4,000 a month. With the rising cost of living, many teachers' lives are at a constant struggle to make ends meet. This has seen an increased number of teachers desert the profession for greener pastures of banking, tourism, and technology sectors. Thus, the solution to the teachers' plights lie in the creation of a teaching service commission addressing the welfare of teachers. Do you want a teaching service commission to be established, just like the public service commission addressing the welfare of teachers? Mfan Susane has been a teacher for more than a decade and he thinks having a teaching service commission would address the needs of teachers.
Establishing teaching service commission, simply that, okay, they will be responsible of the welfare of the teaching service. And then they will also make sure that there is effective teaching and learning going on. And then the children who are the future leaders of this tomorrow will be able to produce a quality education. But if the unit is, because we know that the unit is very large, so if the establishment of the teaching service commission is in place, okay, these people will be going around trying to understand, and then they'll put things in place, and they will have indicators for quality. And if that is placed, then everybody will be happy, and we know that the children are going to be very happy.
As a teacher, you've talked about teachers being in the teaching field for 30 years without being promoted. What has this brought into the teaching profession?
Okay, we know that definitely teaching service commission, teachers have been in the service for quite a long time. They have not been promoted for almost about 30 years up to their pension scheme. And then when they are supposed to get their gratuities, they only receive a small amount of money. And then they have worked for more than 30 years. So if that is the case, I think there should be a mechanism in place. If the commission is there, the commission will be able to mandate and they know the service of the teachers, know the input of the teachers, how potential they are, their merits and other things. They can even organize, create a promotion for them, and before they are retired, they'll be able to get something, and then to increase their socio-economic status also is important.
Gambia Teachers Union, the umbrella body that caters for the welfare of teachers, according to Sane, is not enough.
The credit union is not enough, because the credit union is the stakeholder to education, is supportive and is helping the education in the implementation of the educational programs. So if that is the case, then the establishment of the Teaching Service Commission will work closely hand in hand with the credit union, teachers union, so that they will be able to at least boost the economic and the socio-economic status of the teachers, and also to make sure that there is quality delivery in schools.
Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News.
As part of its ongoing exercise to seek public opinion on the reviewing and drafting of a new constitution, officials of the Constitutional Review Commission today held a consultative meeting in Bansang. The meeting was attended by local government authorities, women and youth groups. And Sumana Esonyasi reports from Bansang.
Charged with the mandate of reviewing, drafting of a new constitution and preparing a report in relation to the 1970 Republican Constitution and the 1997 Constitution of the Second Republic, CRC officials have resumed public consultations. Having arrived in Bansang Saturday morning, the team was received by the Alcalde of Bansang, Alaji Lamin Saibo Dabo, and the Chief of Fladu West, Alaji Mamadou Toure, who both expressed their delight with the CRC's public engagements, saying it is highly significant, as this is the first time that the people of Bansang and the surrounding villages have been given such opportunity. During the consultation session, the people of Bansang made numerous submissions on citizenship, elections and local governments. The 1997 Constitution gives the President of the Republic the prerogative to appoint or terminate the services of the IEC chairman and commissioners. But for counting Tambiedu, former chairman of Armitage, under the new Constitution, the President should not be given the mandate to appoint the IEC chairman.
The IEC chairman and the commissioners. During the, let's say, honorable or National Assembly members elections, if it does not go well with the president, you can simply dismiss the IEC chairman and elect and select another new man. So being the case, to my opinion, is the parties who should sit down to select IEC chairman and commissioners of elections. That's my opinion.
For the Alcalde of Dabangba Sekou Sama, the constitution should be all-inclusive and issues relating to citizenship must not be taken lightly.
The
constitution is the way forward. This meeting is very important because it will give us the opportunity to share our opinions with everyone. If you ask me, for one to attain citizenship in the Gambia, both your parents should be Gambian, or else you shouldn't be called a citizen. Maimuna Balde is an activist and she works with Bansang Community Radio, and she also reckons that citizenship should be based on the birthplace of one's parents. For her, both your parents must be Gambian.
On observation has a youth, hence we know that the youths are the largest population in this country. Our constitution, we all know, is the supreme law of the country. We should all be part and parcel of the constitution, the Constitutional Review Commission.
Ansumana Eso Nyasi, QTV News, Bansang.
A gender equality pressure group is to embark on a 16-day activism program against gender-based violence starting on 25th November. This announcement was made by the group in a news conference on Saturday at the Child Fund office in Kanifing.
The theme of the activism is Orange the Gambia, Hear Me Too, amplifying voices to eliminate gender-based violence. The color symbolizes a brighter future free from violence against women and girls. The activism is part of a UN global initiative to support the UN's Unite to End Violence Against Women campaign, launched in 2008 by former UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. The campaign is an ongoing effort aimed at preventing and eliminating violence against women and girls around the world. Delivering the opening statement, Hadim Bojbaru, the National Coordinator of Network Against Gender-Based Violence, says, for too long, silence has allowed violence against women to prevail in our societies without justice for victims. She says, violence against women can affect the well-being of victims and contribute to the underdevelopment of a nation.
Gender-based violence is a grave human rights violation. We need to understand that. We know often in the Gambia, like my colleague said, some of the issues of gender-based violence, we want to brush them under the carpet. But let us understand that this is a human rights violation. It comes in many forms. It could be physical, sexual, psychological, and emotional violence. All have serious consequences, ranging from immediate to long-term consequences. For example, a person who has been sexually violated lives with that throughout her life. She never forgets. People think the person forgets whether the person voices it out or not. The person never forgets that. And so are other types of violence. Psychological violence is very painful. People don't see it, but you feel it. And that is why we have a lot of depressed people around. Often, the way we handle mental health again in this country.
Falu Sow, the project coordinator of Amplify Voices, says issues affecting women and girls should be a concern to all stakeholders, noting that statistics show that women are the larger gender of our population. He says it is crucial to enforce the law on crimes against women and girls.
Anybody that violates the law has to face the penalty. Therefore, the government of the Gambia should take that very seriously and ensure that any of the persons who violates this law is brought to book. Because if we take this for granted and allow one community, for instance, to express this kind of things openly on over air or report this openly, what would happen is another community can take up this thing and say that. And a law for one is a law for all. This is a national law for all of us, and it has to be respected by all of us. And any person who dares not to respect the law, the government should take its responsibility to ensure that you face the penalty.
The Child Protection Unit Specialist of Child Fund, Ali Umar, says it is essential to protect women and girls because they still continue to face problems in homes, workplaces, and even in educational institutions. He says the voices of women and girls matter in the development of any nation.
Particularly at the level of the communities, we have a lot of challenges that are limiting our child protection gains. For example, we have what we call the culture of silence, because we've been having a lot of child protection issues that have been coming out from the communities. We've been hearing about them, we've been seeing them, we've been living with them, but most of these cases go unreported. People are not coming out to report these cases to the right authorities, nor are they coming out to make the relevant referrals to the support providers. So this is one of the obstacles that we have been facing in our child protection gains. And again, there are laws that are protecting children. For example, we have the Constitution of the Gambia, which is the supreme book that is protecting the rights of everybody. And children being vulnerable, a special constitution was created so as to address their special protection needs.
For QTV News, I am Rohi Jad.
Before we end this bulletin, let's recap our main stories. 35-year-old Fantanding Kebe is a happy mother after giving birth to quadruplets at AfricMed Hospital on Thursday morning. Unfortunately, one of them passed away. The residents of Kirsering have added their voices to the lack of water in their community. Some residents accused the authorities of depriving them of their basic necessity. What is the solution to the long-standing neglect of the teaching profession? Recent sit-down strikes by teachers in many schools regarding their work conditions revealed the disaffection a growing number of them feel about their profession. That's all we have for you in this edition of the news. Join us tomorrow for more news. Thank you for watching.